Karibu, bon dia, welcome. I have a story for you today. It's basically about how deeply or how sensitive I am to my environment and how it can help me and also how it can disturb me. But I let it work for me, you know. A client of mine recently purchased a house and asked me to come and check it out, and just to see it, you know, like they wanted to know. It's a young couple, and they wanted to know what I thought of it and how I felt about it and stuff. So I went over there a couple days ago, and when I walked in the house, the first thing I felt, well, first I have to tell you, it was a rainy day, so it was very damp, and I was already feeling that dampness from the rain and stuff like that. I step inside, and I noticed that it's an older house, not too big, but like a 3-floor. It had a basement, main floor, and upper level. And when I stepped in, I noticed they had pulled up the carpets, and so there was no carpets on the floors, and there was no carpeting on the steps. So immediately I saw those two things, and I was like, okay, so I see what's going on here. But then I felt that weird feeling, and it's a weird feeling that I get when I enter older homes. It's like a heavy feeling, and a heavy, and it didn't help that it was a damp day. So there was the dampness, the heaviness, and the fact that the carpet was pulled up. Now, my senses, my HSP, spidey, empathic senses, sometimes I try to explain it to people, but I'm not sure if they understand, because it does seem a little bit weird. I have to say that I feel everything. I felt the humidity in the air. I felt the way that the floor looked like after they removed the carpet up. And it was an old house, right? Old carpeting. They showed me the pictures of the carpet. It was, ugh. It wasn't good. So just imagine if it was old, ugly carpet. Just imagine what was beneath the carpet. I felt everything. I don't even have to touch it. Just looking at it and being there, it felt like that what I was seeing was touching my skin. And I was surrounded by it. So I had to compose myself because I'm walking through the house, and you know, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the purchase, and I could see how happy they were. They're explaining to me how the neighbors are so friendly, and they feel so happy and grateful for being able to purchase this home. And it's just, it needs work. It needs a lot of work. And I asked them, I said, are you going to change the windows? Because the windows look pretty old. And as we were walking through the house, and And they're like, no, no, not right now. And I'm thinking, but you're going to be moving in things slowly after the hardwood floor is put in. And they're like, yeah, we don't mind. We'll deal with it for now. We don't really want to spend too much money and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, yeah. And then they took me upstairs. So I was walking up the stairs and I noticed the staircase was very narrow. And I don't know, it just didn't feel secure to me. I felt everything. Just imagine. I felt everything up those stairs. And I just kept hearing in the back of my mind, gut this place. That's all I kept hearing as I was walking up the stairs. Just tear this place down. Gut this place, man. Rebuild. But I was hearing that in my mind, but I was also listening to them describe how happy they were for the place. So we go up the stairway, we get to the top of the steps, and I felt a huge imbalance. And I'm like that. When there's any slight change in frequency or temperature or anything like that, it's like my senses just immediately pick up on it. And so just imagine, we get to the top of the stairs and no circulation. So I was like, do you think we can open up a window? And they're like, oh yeah. They opened up a window. The floor was imbalanced. And it's not like I haven't felt that before. And I know it's an older house, but that imbalance really kind of threw me off, because I kept picturing if it was me. Now, if it was me, I wouldn't like that. And I know that you can get to you can get used to things like that are off, but I didn't like the feeling. I just didn't like the feeling of upstairs, one of the bedrooms being totally offline, and once again the carpeting was up and it was off, and I was just like, no. And some people may think I'm picky, but I was like, no. But you know what? In that moment, I had to realize that everybody sees and experiences things different in this life. And I've been reminding myself often of this. Everybody experiences this life different. You may meet people sometimes that are kind of experiencing life similar to yours, but it's still never going to be 100% exactly like yours. So with that in mind, I had no choice but to look at the positives in the situation, in the house, and kind of ignore that voice in the back of my mind that was telling me to gut the house and to tell them I don't know what their plans for the house are, like really and truly. And people's minds change, they could move in and then decide to just pour a whole bunch of money into it and redo the house and then move or Airbnb it or whatever. It's up to them, but I had no choice in that moment. I had to look at the positives of the house. And when I thought about the positives, I'm like, at least they have this space, they can do whatever they want to do with it in the future. Just the fact that they have it now. They will have to spend money. And I noticed that he kept mentioning He doesn't want to really spend too much money, and he mentioned money 3 times, which means, okay, it's a big deal for him. But I don't know. I just said, let me look at the positives, and the positives is it's an asset. It can be changed, completely changed, and they don't have to hold on to it. They can do whatever they want to it and move on, you know? So after I started to think like that, then I felt a lot better about the place, because that's one thing that I have to deal with in my life, is being able to pick up on so many subtleties in environments and around people. And I have to learn to well, not even learn, I have to transmute them on a daily basis, especially if they're not pleasant, if it's not a pleasant feeling, you know, that I get from someone or someplace. And it can be very invasive, you know, like it's almost like it's touching me. It's really, really weird, you know, like I felt the walls. I felt the age of the home and the layers of all the people that have lived in the house. It's like I felt that heaviness. I felt that the house was weak, and then experiencing the imbalance of the floors, and it made me feel unsafe. I didn't feel my best in there, but I know there's potential, and I know that if it was up to me, and I would immediately just gut the place, like I would just and rebuild modern, you know. But not everybody's looking at things like that, and not everyone has the funds to be able to do that, and I understand that. It's just, I just wanted to speak on it, because it's just one of those things that kind of teach us that we all see things differently. We all experience a glass of wine differently. We all experience a party differently. And this couple's experience in buying a home, and they were so excited, and yes, I felt all of that, but I made a few comments, but they were all just like mostly questions, because I wanted to know what they were thinking about and how they would move forward. But I left it at that, you know. And they have my, well, obviously they're in contact with me, so if they ever need my assistance for anything, they will contact me. But it's just I hope that they make the right decisions for them, and I hope that the home is a good home. You know, I felt so much like I did, but it's everybody's experience is their own, you know. And back in the day, I probably would have said something or made a comment about the imbalance of the flooring and stuff like that, but not anymore. Like I don't want to bring attention to the negatives, because obviously they already know this. You know, I was just extremely sensitive to a lot of things there, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with the home and how how things come about. It would be lovely to see. But yeah, to me, I am very, very sensitive to my environment, man. It's amazing. Peace.